Yo, it's your boy Dean.
Tim.
Teran.
Another episode of the Dean's Office. Again, thank you for locking in, listening, doing all the good stuff. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember we on the road to 100 subscribers, man. So
I think we're up to 89, right?
if we haven't subscribed, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. So
11
we can get,
more.
so we can get to that 100, man. All right. So let's first of all we got to do this. Let's celebrate the Dolphins. Well, we third in the AFC, right? Fourth?
No, we're third in the AFC East.
No, I'm talking about in the whole AFC.
We're third in the AFC East.
What we ranked in the whole AFC? Like fourth,
fifth,
right?
Like sixth.
Not sixth. We're not a wild card, man.
There's 7 playoff teams. We're the sixth.
Yeah, we not that far. All right, whatever, dog. I don't think we that low on the bottom, dog. Because that many teams ain't doing well.
Yes, it is. You got the Chiefs. You got the Bills. You got the Titans. You have the Jets. Then you have us. So we fifth.
Anyway, let's go. We got a good one. You know, we ain't gonna hold y'all too long. We got, like I always say, we got a good one. We're gonna be talking about our community. There's a lot going on, so we just gonna try
You
to
mean
get
our community? You mean Miami Gardens? You mean Florida?
No, black community.
Okay.
Black community. You know what I'm saying? Let's kind of dive in because a lot happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go lock in. Yo.
World, you're needed in the dean's office.
So, like I said, over the little time, the time that we was from last time we record, a lot happened within our community. So we just gonna give a little rundown of just what how we feel that impact us as individual and then as well as our community and what's going on. So first thing I kind of want to lock in because I think the other one gonna take longer for us to kind of go through. But the first thing I want to talk about is Takeoff. That's right. That's the right one, right? Takeoff getting killed while he was in Texas or Houston rather. It affected a lot. It kind of felt. It almost felt a little bit like Tupac and Biggie, and again, not saying that he was a good rapper, but all the other rappers that was down like Pop Smoke. Dolph felt kind of close to it, but this one because Migos then was so big, I think it felt even though he wasn't the most popular Migos, you get what I'm saying? But it felt like because he wasn't the most popular Migo, they felt like you could clearly see the man used to chill in the background. He'd do his own thing. It hit a lot of people different. Like he wasn't even doing nothing. You still dying. I think a lot of people thinking in their head like even when you trying you doing everything you supposed to, you chilling, you not acting up, and you still die a violent death. You know what I'm saying? And I think it hit a lot of people hard to where it brought up a lot of topics. You know, it brought up about protection, going to different cities, getting protected, him not getting protected while he was in the, you rich, why you getting into arguments, a dice game, or putting yourself in a situation that you shouldn't be putting yourself in. Like, what was your thought and what was you feeling or when you heard that he got?
I mean, at first when obviously it was like everybody else, I was shocked. Like, obviously I don't know him personally, but like you mentioned, he was seemed like to be the more reserved Migo, and Migo been around since 2012, 2011.
Yeah, they had a long career.
Yeah, like 10 years plus. So, to have that happen to somebody it was tragic. And then what made it even more tragic is when you start learning about what happened, where he was standing in the background and it almost seemed like he got hit with a straight bullet from when they started the altercation. So my immediate reaction was, sadness first, but then you got to say like, dang, we got to do better as a black community. You know what I'm saying? Like why is it that if it's a private party, you and your entourage feel as though everybody has to have weapons. Everybody has to be on go to be ready to murder somebody. Like we're conditioned, like if we go somewhere, like we're about to go to war. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand there's a difference between protection and getting ready to go to war. Like, back in the days when we used to go to those clubs, Banana Joe's and all that, it felt like when you walking in there, every person that was in there ready to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't there for girls. They was ready to fight. Like, and I just wish our culture could switch because we could have a good time without having to worry about guns and fighting.
And you know what? But that's correct. That's kind of gauge that. I think it's American black culture because when you go to Juve and you go to Carnival, it's black and you don't have that tension. Like I don't, I'm pretty sure that there have been fights at those type of events, but for the most part,
but you feel safe. You feel safe as hell at a Jamaican or the Caribbean event, don't you? You feel safe.
It's like when I went to a Jamaican festival, I think maybe a couple of months ago. When you went, the vibe was like, hey, how, like you coming in, everybody saying, "What's up? How you doing? Whatever." Hey, if you're looking for some food, it's over there. This is like a family atmosphere, right? And we know that there's some reggae music that they go at each other, blah, 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 this and whatever. But then it's just the other reggae music, it's just that vibe. You go in, it's like, I'm not worried about if somebody finna come in and beat me up because I step on their shoes. I'm not worried about if I bump into somebody, I'm going to fight. It's just that type of vibe when you go into those different things.
That's why we used to go. We used to intentionally go to the Caribbean clubs back in the days. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think because I'm pretty sure we gonna have some island people on there. They gonna tell you about all the stuff in the island. But I think when those island people migrate or come to America, they come to more of a wholesome because they parents that brought them over and instill that respect and all that stuff. So you have it. Although you got some thugs and gangsters that's Caribbean people, but I think as a whole, Caribbean party and atmosphere is built towards having fun. We understand, like you go to clubs, you go to American clubs, you got dudes looking like, yeah, we don't want to dance because we don't want to sing. You get what I'm saying? You go to a Caribbean club, a dude not dancing, you looking at them like, what's going on? Like, why you ain't dancing? Like, it's a whole different mindset.
And
think so.
It's the music,
and I think the whole mindset I think the whole mindset of it is what affects it. Like rap music is built on you being tough and you have to be a gangster. You can't even come from a good parent home and talk rap and they can be like, oh, you ain't real. Like it's some type. You have to have a badge of being a gangster, which don't make sense to me. Just make good music, whatever you want to say, have fun. And I think that's the mindset when with them going to Houston, they wasn't protected by security. They was protected by their homeboys. They got their pistol. Feel like, okay, man, anybody pull up on us, we gonna get them. Not knowing having a gun don't stop you from getting killed. You get what I'm saying? Because all it do, if you ask me, I think a gun get you killed faster than not having a gun. Because when you got a gun, you're not thinking reason. You automatically think, boy, I got this gun, boy, you better not try me. Whereas if you didn't have a gun, you might discuss and, hey man, hold on, bro, we ain't trying to. You get what I'm saying? When you have a gun, you're more willing to say, I'm gonna get into this confrontation because it gives you some type of empowerment to where now you want to get in that confrontation. And even in some of the videos that we saw, they was arguing and Buddy was holding a gun in his hand like he was waiting on something to pop off.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And guess what? No police presence, no security presence. Why? What are they saying? Rap music. We don't mess with police, right?
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's a private party at a public event. No police presence. You know what I mean? That's there. Well, that was visibly there because obviously, and if it was police presence and they didn't intervene immediately, shame on them. I don't want to say it wasn't, but I assume it wasn't. And why is it? Because we vilify police officers in the rap community. I don't want to mess with cops. It's video, and it's like, how many men or people there? Like 20, 30 people there? And the police are trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah. Like even the culture of saying, all right, we can't snitch. And I think people get that misunderstanding what snitch is. If me and you doing dirt and I get caught, I gotta eat that. But if I'm in my house chilling and you do something, you shoot somebody or you break into somebody's house, I'm gonna tell on you. That's not snitching. That has nothing to do with me telling on you because I got caught. Because now it's like, oh, I got caught, so you got to get caught too, or I'm trying to, lessen my time. But if you in a community and you know something's happening, there's something doing something wrong, speaking up for that community to make sure that we have a safe community. I don't think anything wrong with that, but it's frowned upon as far as and everybody a tough guy
in our community.
Everybody
can't do it in our community.
And going back to when I first heard about the video and all this other stuff and everything, there at some point when the escalator was there, somebody could have stopped it before it get that far. You understand what I'm saying? Before it escalated to where we got to be. And the only reason I'm saying is that if you and I, all of us go out to hang with each other, there's some times in the past when we went to a club and somebody wanted to fight out of us, and we had to calm the person down, right? No, but honestly, what I'm saying is...
Because I'm from the community.
No, what I'm saying is, we remember the time when we went to the club, he just came down here ready to fight, and we had to stop him from fighting. He's like, no, calm down. You understand what I'm saying? So we protected him from that. We said, you know what, we're not going to let that go down. And that was going into one of these reggae parties, island parties that we was going to. But we calmed that situation down. So it's like, at what point, when are we going to be held accountable for the people that's around us? If I'm going into a club, I know the atmosphere, like Terrell said, my first move shouldn't be as soon as I met somebody messing me up, I got to kill you. It's a lot of pride. A lot of people talking about their manhood. We talked about that before when it comes to manhood and everything. And they feel like, oh, if I don't do this, my manhood has been tested. It should never get to that point where I'm really thinking, I got to end this dude's life. It's either your life or mine because of a simple argument.
I wish I could understand the mind of a street guy. You know what I mean? Because some of the stuff don't make sense to me.
It makes a lot of sense to me. It makes sense to me, but with two things, and I was remember having this conversation with Mel. Right, we were sitting and watching. I don't know what it was. It was one of these concerts, and I want to say Kodak. He came out. It was one of them fests. It was a bunch of people. It had to be like thousands of people. He came and walked on the stage, and the way they were screaming. Can you imagine you being as a person getting your ego stroked by 10,000 people saying, Kodak, Terrell, Tim, oh, you the best, man. Oh man, we love you. You know what that does to your ego, right? Because for you to be a tough guy, or for you to think you the shiz nigga, and then you got 10 or million people verifying saying, boy, you the guy, we love you. That must stroke your ego to a point to where now you get to a level of, okay, now I feel like I'm above certain things. I need to, you can't talk to me. That's why you see a lot of time famous people like, oh, don't talk to me that way, like makes you different because now you got a stroke of an ego. Then you go to a street dude, saying a regular street dude. If you know you coming into a life where when you walking out your door, somebody at your head, you're already clicking into your mindset that I have to get you first. Because often what they tell you when you get into a fight or somebody rush up on you, you hit them first because you got a better chance of winning the fight if you go first. And I think as a street dude, right, you done got in your mind so much, or you kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? The routine got so engraved in your mind.
Conditioned.
There you go. You got conditioned to now, you not even realizing once you step away, when you make a certain amount of money, or when you make or you can make a move to where you can change the life, you're not even thinking about it no more because you're so conditioned that I have to go on go. I'm in the streets. I know people at my head. If somebody at my head all the time, I'm ready to go all the time because I'm ready to go because I don't want to die. Because I'm a street dude, I still don't want to die. I'd rather kill you than you kill me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part of it, and I think that's the mentality that's going to be hard to change to where even street dudes get celebrated. Girls, when you go to the club, you know what I'm saying? You see the dude over there, he ain't dancing. He got his little bottle. We know he got a little cat. He got a chunk. He still got the girls still rushing him, even though you got this dancing fool over here in the middle of the floor having fun. Which you would think, okay, boo, he over here having fun. This dude over here chilling in the cup waiting for somebody to get up on him. You think as a female, you would think the person that's dancing and enjoying their time is who you would want to be at, but it's still attracting them. So now you got to think about it as a street dude. I'm getting the girls I want. I got the cars I want. I'm kind of doing what I want, stroking your ego. I think it's very hard for you to turn that off.
Yeah,
what makes sense.
But females make bad decisions every day, B. As there wouldn't be deadbeat daddies out there.
Completely. That's why you have.
Females make bad decisions every day, B.
That's why you.
But I think going back to what you said is we as a community have to stop glorifying it, right? So if we show that it's not a good set, we show that we're not upper flying, we're not stroking no egos. That's where the change come into play, right? Let's highlight those individuals who are actually doing something positive inside the when I was looking at the pivot the other day, and they had the Pouncey brothers on, and they talk about all the good things that the stuff that they poured into the community, help all these other people are. Those are individuals who, and they think they live in Lakeland, Florida. They're from Lakeland, Florida. Even though they left and do different things, they still came back and poured back into the community doing different things. Some of them probably still live there, and they came from a bad environment. They came from living in trailer park. They came from doing this other stuff, right? So it's like, at what point do we say, once I leave, get this money and do different things, that my mentality change? And that's the thing. I understand you want to be street for the rest of your life or hard or whatnot, but at one point, when does that change come in? And that's the problem. That's the part I see is when people get the money and then they run and want to stay away from the community because they know they can't come back because so many people after them.
Yeah, but I don't know about Amigos album anymore. They weren't talking about trap stuff.
See, but that's
the thing. Like, aside from you got Kendrick Lamar, you got J. Cole, you got
like
Drake.
Don't like him,
right? What other black male
but even Drake
is out there rapping?
But even Drake talk tough.
But I'm not saying what they're saying and stuff.
I'm saying their image is what got them paid. So that's
I understand that, but at one point they can show other positive things as well, even along with their stuff that they're doing.
Dog, do you want to hear about me rapping about I went to the Boys and Girls Club and bought them equipment? Or do you want to hear about me pistol whipping this dude that come in the house after I was whipping his crack?
But then again, so if that's the point, then so why are we talking about, why are we worrying about why they're changing that?
Because that's the dangerous side. Like, we need to come up with a creative way to where we are. For example, this is a good transition or segue to this next thing that we wanted to talk about. Obviously, we wanted to also talk about the way that Kanye and Kyrie was so quickly, I don't want to call it canceled, but they was held accountable for their anti-Semitism. What's the appropriate word?
Yeah, we know what you mean.
Yeah, anti-Semitism. But for a long time, Kanye was saying some crazy things like, "Oh, slavery was a choice. Our black people are destroying ourselves," like just really attacking the black community, and we still chose to work with him. You get what I mean? The black community is powerful, but we don't use our power correctly.
But are we really powerful though?
But we are. Let me tell you.
I don't think so. I disagree.
Let me tell you why I think we are powerful. I think we are very powerful. We set the tone for what's cool. We set the tone for what's going to be bought at the box office. There's no secret. Black people spend more, in my opinion, than white people. A black person or people in our community will spend more money to get that Gucci purse or get whatever, even if it's their last dime, right? We got bad spending habits. That's why, although we have a certain amount of black people in the community, we have so much that's in the poverty level because of our bad spending habits. You get what I mean? Like, we set the trends. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, we need to learn how to focus. Like, Black Lives Matter could have worked if the wrong people wasn't over it, and then they didn't have a specific agenda. They forgot who they was rallying for. They stole money.
Yeah. See now, I'm gonna disagree with you, and I thought about this, and it hit me as you kind of brainstorming about what we gonna talk about and so forth. I hear what people saying. People tell you money is power, which money is not, right? Money is put on money. Value is placed on money by people in power, right? So meaning, if we want as a United States, they could print as much money as they want. It's just a machine going in and print. But what they do is based on put out so much. What's the banking thing that does raise the interest rate and does all that other stuff. They set the value on it. So now they know if they put out too much dollars, they're gonna drop the value of the dollar and so forth, so forth. So now this is what I mean by black people don't have the power like we think we do, right? Because we might spend a lot of money. Yeah, we might set the trend. We might, white people want to dress like us. Yeah, they listen to our music. Yeah, we might have an influence. But think about all the politicians. Go look at the politicians. They're white. And their agenda is set for white people. We forget because we're in urban city, not even use the word urban, because we're in cities and it's a melting pot of different cultures, we don't forget probably 70% of the country is white. In rural areas, even you got some places where it's nothing but white people. But you have the power is based on the laws that are set. It's not based in the money. The money, because point example would happen with Kanye and Kyrie. You didn't hear not one person, not one Jewish person come out their mouth and say let's boycott something. You didn't hear one Jewish person come out their mouth and say we're gonna cancel him. What they did was the person that run like Chase Bank. It's Chase Bank he went to, right? They went to Chase Bank and said, boom, hey, Chase, since we got the power, give him his money back. Or Adidas, I know you're gonna lose $1 billion rocking with him. Give him back his name, his name and likeness. Whatever. Every Gap, they said, yeah, I know Gap was on the verge of being bankrupt. Right? They stock dropped. And they came to Kanye, and because Kanye came, they stock increased. They said they came to them because they run it. They said, "Hey, you need to don't rock with Kanye," and they stock dropped back down again. That's power. Us saying we not gonna buy shoes. Think about it. We boycott. Say we boycott Nike, Adidas, because you only got 2 shoes that you wear. 3. You got Nike.
Boycott Adidas now. I don't want no Adidas.
No, but see what I'm saying is you got Nike, Adidas, and Reeboks and Under Armour. I don't know what we doing with that, but I would never. You can give me free Under Armour. But what I'm saying is,
I don't know what Steph Curry was thinking.
Yeah, him and them Ling Lings by Dwayne Wade. So now what I'm saying is you boycotting something we use because we know. Yeah, I know you can wear other shoes, but you ain't gonna look right. You ain't gonna feel right if you don't have on the Nikes, the Reeboks, the name brand. So you can't boycott something you need, right? Because now you putting yourself at a sacrifice. Whereas the company, when the company sacrifice, it's really just that company. The rest of the white community or Jewish community or whatever community not suffering. We just the one in power have to take the L for everybody, and we do it.
So you saying the reason why we can't is because there's actually Jewish people who owns these companies. There are no black people that owns these companies.
Yes,
so we don't have any power.
We don't. What power? Even with TV, we say they depict this what's going on TV. If I'm a black TV owner, if I own a black TV company or station, I can say, you know what, here, let's go ahead. We can only play black shows. It ain't nothing nobody could do about it. Whereas the white people can say we ain't gonna watch your show. Well, I don't care. We gonna still have people watch it. You don't want to watch TV? Don't watch TV. You gonna make a sacrifice. We don't have nobody in power to make that sacrifice. That's why when they say, "Oh, the black community don't come together," we argue. You don't think some of those white and Jewish community disagree? But it's just the people with the power say, "Okay, y'all disagree, but I can do this." Black people, we don't have no power to make the noise of what we saying. Yeah, we want to say, oh, they'll give us, black people spend more money. We make up $1 billion worth. Yeah, you want us give up stuff that we're already doing. Whereas all I need, Kyrie Irving was holding tight. He was like, I'm not apologizing. This is what I'm saying. I ain't do nothing wrong. Soon as they went to the Nets and say, Nets, y'all got to take this L. Y'all going to lose some games, but y'all got to suspend him. And that's sure enough what they did. Because they have the power to do it. You think them people boycotting not going, they still get their TV money. It's there. They don't lose anything. That's why I'm saying we don't have the power that we think. Only way we start getting that power when we start getting, and it's not ownership of your own business, ownership of stuff that the country needs. We need the people say voting. The politicians. We need politicians that's going to when so like what's this thing called? The voting. When they remember when COVID hit, they was mailing in the ballots. Everybody was cool with it until the Republicans saw, God dog it, all these Democrats voting from home. We lost the election. What they did, in the next cycle, they started making all these laws saying that you can't, the mail-in ballots, you only have this. They started putting restriction on it because it's power. That's power. If we can have a group of people behind us when something happened to us, it's not the regular people. The regular, it's not the Jews that don't have no power that's driving this. It's the ones that do. But the ones we making noise to is the black people. That's us. What us three not buying some shoes won't do what? Nothing. You get what I'm saying? Just imagine if we can get the owner of Nike to say, shut it down. All the manufacturers that you send Nike shoes to, we're not gonna buy your shoe no more. Then that's the power. We don't have any power. And that false narrative about it, because we not willing to do the work. The country, these white people built this country to get it. They was willing to kill black people. You know what I'm saying? Steal, to cheat, to get their power.
So be careful now. What you saying?
Nah. I'm being it's honest. It's documented.
I know.
No, I didn't say. It's documented that white people killed. They killed us. They stole. They built this for free labor. They did all that to get the country to where they wanted. So it's not something you can just simply say we gonna get it back. You have to do some. You gonna have to do some things to get some things done.
Yeah, and I think, and that's one of the things, like, we need to use our power and scream about this way that the Jewish community was demanding it. We need to scream about representation and all these other things, like the NFL, the NBA, how there's really no owners that's black. You have Michael Jordan, I think. That's it, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel we got to do something, use our power, because you're right. I agree.
Even with the NFL, they saying, okay, boy, we need more black coaches. If them people say we don't want no black coaches, ain't nothing nobody can do, because they still have the power. You're requiring millions of black people to be on the same accord. It's hard to get 10 people of any kind of race to agree. So now you're telling 1 million people you need to make that sacrifice or come on the same page. It's not gonna happen. That's why we never successful. You don't need Nike don't need no help. We as Nike just gonna say we not gonna do it. Or we as Adidas said we're not gonna do it. And Kanye learned that. Kyrie Irving learned that. It's okay. You're in no people establishment. No matter how much money they give you, they got more. They got more power. Same thing with presidency. We was able to get a black president in and had a minimal impact on black people. Why? Because the power was still given by the people that set the country up.
Yeah. So Timmy, what do you think when it comes to black people? So one of the controversial statements that Kyrie said was that it was from Hebrew to Negroes.
Oh, that movie, that's
In
that
the movie,
documentary,
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that is. Not a
Like,
documentary.
it has a lot of things about Jews, like a lot of conspiracy, aside from the conspiracy things. But one of the things it mentions is that we were originally Hebrew. Have you ever took like time to like study like what the original Hebrew people look like? Do you feel like they came from the continent of Africa?
If you look at it, everything that's most of the stuff we come from the Bible, it feel like it comes from that region, like Iraq, Iran, those particular areas, but they had different names back then. And when you look at those individuals do not have white skin, right? If you grew up over there, just like most people in the islands, when you grew up, we have darker skin, depending on the pigment of your skins and everything. But when you look at it, I always think about, and that's why when people look at the Bible or look at just history back then, they try to make it according to what it is now, or to most benefit them, right? When they're reading the scriptures or what they try to do, take scriptures out that help for them, so they don't add, so they do it that way. For me myself, I always envision myself as saying that's what they look like. We started off as one race, or however be carrying into another one through the process of how we started from when Adam and Eve, and through the process. And when we got to eventually we now.
Do you think that's important to know that? Like, do you think it's important to say what we were originally? You think that's important?
I think it's important, because that's why they created this new company called, what is it called? My DNA or 23andMe, because so many people are trying to find out.
Can I insert? So Rashad did it for us. Did you know our grandfather was white?
Yes.
Yeah, Grammy.
I think it was Grandpa.
Grammy.
No, it's Grandpa dad.
Yeah,
was
grandpa.
white. That's why Uncle Colin on them look like that.
So bright.
I'm talking about came from Portugal, or whatever, white. Like probably ate raisins in his mayonnaise white. I mean, potato salad white.
No, that's
He
what
said.
I'm
He
saying.
said.
He called me tripping. He was like, "You like Terrell, man? Hey, man, I did our research, man, and oh my God, you won't believe it." He said our great granddaddy was white.
But I think Mommy done told us that.
Yeah, we knew that already.
Mommy
dog.
done.
Yeah,
I think
we
Mommy
knew
done
that
told us that
already.
he was white. Somebody, Grammy them people was white too, right?
I'm not
She
sure.
had to be because she kind of like.
Probably it was. If you think about
There's
it,
not much of. I don't know Grammy's siblings.
but what I'm saying is that's why people do the 23 and
I don't know the difference
DNA and
between the
whatnot.
You know, Uncle Colin them was.
No,
grandpa.
I understand. I did not. I promise you, dog. I just knew they was who and who. They blended to me, dog. To be honest with you, they blended like because they call everybody.
I don't know.
They call everybody auntie and uncle.
I don't know. The only one I thought Daw was Grammy's sister, but that's just her first cousin, and they grew up close. So I don't know who was Grammy's sister. I don't think we ever met her or any of her family, right?
I don't know.
We met all the grandpa family. We met because
Not all.
I don't know
We just met some people.
who you met because you keep
Uncle-
saying
Uncle
Uncle
Colin.
Collins and that's it.
what's the lady who just celebrated her birthday? Aunt Doris.
That's part of
That's grandpa's.
that's Grammy though.
No, that's
Grandpa's Grammy.
That's grandpa sister.
No,
That's
don't worry about
grandpa's
it.
sister.
Yeah,
You
she
sure?
just turned 90.
Yeah.
That was her sister.
I don't know, man.
You don't know whose sister it is either, right? Thank you. They all lumped in together. They all had a name out of auntie and uncle on it. That's how I roll it.
But anyway, back to the original question. Like, do you think that's important?
I think it's important to know our heritage and where we come back from. And I think that's what the United States is trying to hide or don't want to do it, right? Because they like, why we need to know where you come from. It's important to know where my ancestry come from and how we migrated over. That's an interesting story because think of what supposedly America was built on. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, because of you couldn't do that back in the island or back when in Great Britain when they couldn't do it. So they came over here because they wanted to be able to do their own thing. So of course you want to know that. I really want to know if I have any African stuff in my DNA, like from Nigeria and all this other stuff.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Why?
Because you're black. I'm
But
gonna take a wild step.
But I'm listen. What I'm saying is, I want to know the region. I want to say, hey, if it's the Ivory Coast, if it's Nigeria, it's Ethiopia. That's what I mean when I'm saying that part.
Do the 23andMe.
I probably have to do that.
Well, only reason why I ain't doing the 23andMe, I ain't saying y'all boys gonna do anything, but I watched a lot of Law and Order where I took the DNA and then my cousin Kayla get jammed up because
I got it.
match.
Because they familiarly match.
Yeah.
I don't get what you mean.
So meaning, if I got a certain DNA pattern, they can tell you if the person. So say if I went and took the test. So when you commit a crime or whoever commit a crime, when they pull a DNA and they put it up against mine, they can tell you the DNA is familiar as an uncle, a cousin, or third or fourth because of how the genes in. So now they narrow it down to the family, and Kayla got to go to jail because I took the 23andMe test, bro. So I'm hesitant about taking it because I don't want to get Kayla jammed up. She just became a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
But I am curious like that because I feel like black people look like a certain tribe, right? Like can't you like? I feel like you can group black people. You don't think?
I
so?
think you see. You know what? And I'm gonna put it like this. All right. I see because I seen it. I don't forgot what it was. What it was? I think E News used Offset instead of Takeoff, and when they reported it, they used Offset picture instead of Takeoff, and everybody was tripping like, oh, we all on look alike, we all on blah blah blah. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. You could region when you can tell when you see an African. You can tell when you see. I'm talking about
features.
Pure African. You can tell when you see a Haitian. You can tell when you see a Jamaican. And don't tell me, oh, look at me. I'm not talking. We talking about for the majority purpose of it. You can tell, or you can tell when somebody from the islands. Like when you look at their feet bottom, right?
What?
They foot bottom. When you're born in the islands, your foot bottom is like
rough.
it's like a extra shoe. Yeah, like it's like a sole on it. Like I know that because you know what I'm saying. I know the culture. I know Caribbean culture where they walk around with their shoes off, so they foot bottom as they call it has a preparedness to take that journey. Like you can tell, you get what I'm saying? Just like how when you see some West Indians or when you see those Trinidadian, like you can kind of tell if you into that culture. And
I just think people are born of tribes because of the features, like Lil Mama, Jay-Z, Glorilla. I feel like they all in the same tribe, right? Because they all look similar. You get what I mean? Like,
yeah, they do.
You get what I'm talking about?
They
Like,
down the pot, when they take the 23andMe test, somebody in the lab.
right. Like for another example, the baby, Ha Davis. They from the same tribe. They look similar. You get what I mean? Like you could tell they have the same type of features. Ha Davis and the baby.
I don't see it either.
You crazy? They almost look identical to me.
For real? Nah. At all, bro.
And Tavares and TC, the one from Living Singles.
Yeah, Tavares and TC.
Absolutely.
Timmy and the dude in the movie on Friday who asked Ezel to get up. It's not even wet over here. He's like, man, it's not even wet over here. Look just like Timmy. When Timmy had a little mustache.
You know who you remind me? Timmy, like he found the same thing on Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper. Braxton from the Jamie Foxx show. Oh,
No, Braxton. I think Braxton is more your style. I think Braxton more your style.
All y'all are the same tribe. But yeah, that's, and I bring that up to say, like, how can we position ourselves? What is it? Learning our heritage and give us back. If we start killing ourselves, what can give us more position and more power, to your point, as a black community?
I think the first thing, to be honest with you, the first thing we gotta understand too, that what we tell white people all the time, monolithic, right? That's not really all the same, right? Black people, what we gotta
monolithic.
Yeah, whatever that verbiage is.
We're not all the same. Come on.
We not. No, I was trying to give it because that's the thing they like to say. But I think the first thing we need to do is I think it's okay because you have people within that culture, within that hood culture that embrace it, and then you got black people that stand back and look like in disgust because it was made a certain way. I think it's okay.
I'm grouping us together.
I think it's okay to embrace the hood culture because that's all it is. Hood culture, when you see the dreads, the goals, the flashiness, whatever, that's just a culture. That's not a black thing. That's a culture, right? And I think us understanding, embracing that culture, and as well in the cornball one that like they like to call people if you don't embrace that culture,
like Braxton,
or Russell Wilson.
Wait, you just finished watching the Jamie Foxx show or something?
It's so funny.
I ain't gonna lie, the Jamie Foxx show is very underrated. Bro.
Yeah, it was.
I love Jamie Foxx, bro. That dude is funny. He can do everything. You watch the show, dog. It's funny, bro.
The fun. It was the episode when it was Michael Jackson.
Oh, when they were going against each other.
Going against Michael Jackson. It's a funny show. No, but I
hold on. You been cutting my train of thought. So I think if we embrace that, as well, I think it's fine for us to have rap music or the music the way it is. But I think we need to have more emphasis placed on is entertainment, right? If we start to let go that you have to be street orientated to do it, like I can come here and rap about if I know that it takes a certain amount of baking soda to. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. To cook crack or whatever, I know that I can rap about it and be okay. I don't have to mean I was in the cooking.
Crack, though. This is like the second time I brought up crack. Y'all all right, though?
Because crack is what killed our community. No.
Not anymore. This ain't the 80s.
No, but that's what. No, people still do crack, but what I'm saying is
what's killing our community.
No, what fractured our community, most of the men was taken out of home because of crack. What I'm just saying, we just recovered. Now you see as an emphasis on dads. Like if you look on Instagram,
that's
Facebook,
not why.
What?
The reason why the daddy's in this because mama's been making bad decisions and who can get them pregnant.
No, but yeah, you.
I'm not blaming women. I'm blaming the people that made it. Like
no, but that's what I'm saying. The women had what I'm just saying. The choices of what they was having because crack hit the community so hard. For whatever reason it was in there. I'm not saying everybody was on crack, everybody sold crack, but it impacted it to where it did have a separation. The good thing that we have with Instagram and social media is that now you're seeing a lot of videos with dads doing stuff with their kids. You see dads doing videos. So now the image is starting to be put in there, which we're not going to see the effects of it for another 20 years. Because now it's being set. Because we as our age can remember when most people, our friends, didn't have dads in their home. You know what I'm saying? I can go now. You go to Kayla. I'm pretty sure you can probably know some of your friends that grew up with their daddy. You get what I'm saying? It's a
two daddies. What generation are you? What the? Are you the two daddies generation? She the one dad generation. Okay.
The two dad generation is I think.
It's coming up now.
I think it's Mia. It's me. It's me. Nah, it's like Mia though.
No, it's our kids. The kids.
Yeah. So like that's the two dad generation. But what I'm saying is the effect can have to change to where now we look at that culture as entertainment. Like I want to wear the gold chain, the mouth, the dreads, and still want to go to work and punch in 9 to 5.
And I like that. And I think if we start focusing on if we stop glorifying and start emphasizing, the violence is happening this way, I like what you're saying there. If we focus on the fact that we have a culture and our culture is not about violence, there just so happens to be a violence. Because each culture have their thing that's going on, right? Like white people are struggling with opioids, right? Ain't it? Like they have white people that's trailer trash that's on, that's doping up. You know what I mean? They have white people that listen to satanic music that's saying kill my mom, kill my dad, whatever the case may be. That's a TikTok now song, ain't it?
What, for real?
Yeah, it's a TikTok song that say I want to kill my mom, I want to kill my dad. Like,
never heard that one. You know that don't come across
my timeline. What kind of TikTok you be looking at, bro?
I'm just telling you, it's a TikTok song. I'm just saying we all have our problems.
I think
God forgive me for saying this, but look who's shooting up the schools. Ain't black people. You know what I'm saying? Like
the last one was though, but he was black.
But it was only like 6 people.
I think she go ahead and start running up, bro.
Wow. But I get what you're saying, man. I think we have a little more focus. We realize we have nowhere near the power that we said. Can we stop putting that out in the air that we got so much power? Because you forcing a million people to get on the same page, whereas the white community, Jewish community, whatever you want to lump them into, which it's only 10 people that need to do it. You get what I'm saying? Whereas you trying to tell the whole black community they need to do something, which I don't agree. Every time certain people say, I might agree with. I don't want to do it. Whereas if we need to get ourselves, put ourselves in position, right? So when we have these, like, and I'm a prime example, like you have the NFL. You have Deshaun Watson that came in and said, we want $230 million guaranteed, right? If NFL players position themselves to say all our contracts to be guaranteed, it can happen if that's what they forced into. It can happen if you want black ownership. It can happen, but somebody got to die. Somebody has to sacrifice, right? So we in the age right now to where, we don't want it. Nah, somebody got to sacrifice. And we can have those things. And once we get in those power positions, we're not arguing no more. When you tell me that this person says something, hey, black owner, get rid of that guy. And that's happened. We don't have to worry about nobody boycott. Don't worry about this community, black community. Y'all can still eat, watch NFL, whatever. We gonna take care of him because we got the power. And that's what happened. That's what happened with the Nets. Mm-hmm. That what happened to Kanye. And that will continue to happen to anybody else that step out of line. So I don't want it the narrative be, because Kanye said this about black stuff and we ain't do nothing. Now you asking millions of people to do something, whereas it was only one company that probably have 10 people making decisions.
And I think to boil down to it, back to black culture and all this other stuff, the leaders. like those big time people. We do have a lot of billionaires who are black.
Bring it home,
Right.
Pastor.
We do have a lot of those who have power inside companies who can make things right. So if let's just say we have the city of Miami Gardens. We know we have black owners who can build buildings. Why not bring those in to do it, right? If I'm on the city council in Miami Gardens, I'm going to make sure that everything that's happening in this community is going to be by black contractors.
Which is not.
But I'm saying that's the way we move forward and how we try to uplift it. Going back into what he's saying about power. We are majority black in this city. I mean, in this city that we live in, right?
Miami Gardens.
Yep.
And then think about other cities that have predominantly black people.
The
Right?
largest black city in the South.
So think about it. If they doing all
Gardens.
this, that's what I'm saying. We keep on doing this, and we keep doing employ blacks, put blacks to do all this other stuff. Now we're trying to show that's where the true power comes from, just like you're saying. Because now we're putting a stronghold onto that. We only making sure our kind doing it. Not only our kind, we want to make sure the people who live in our city is the one who's doing this.
Yeah.
So if you come in my city, you better make sure at least 80% of that people that you're hiring is from the city of Miami Gardens. But it's not happening. What I'm saying is the people that we put in power, that's how we be able to get that power that we need. The city councilmen, they should be doing that. The mayor of this city should be doing that as well. When you go to the Senate, those are the type of people who should do it to try to affect. And that's where the importance of being voting from, it started at the city level. Right? Like they always say, the president's not going to do nothing for me. When Obama became president, how can he do something for black people when he's the president of the United States?
And he made the gay people promises first.
No. So, like I said, right?
He did.
So, like I said,
You talking about what you call it? Made they promises. That was
LGBT.
No, that was Biden.
No,
Obama did something like that as well.
He as soon as he got in the office, he signed that you can marry, which is good. But I'm just saying he
No,
did
but
it.
what I'm going back to, what I'm saying is, if we trying to get back to where, like you say, how do we get that power?
But their problem is different from my problem, bro. Not to cut you off. I get when people say he did stuff. I get you. He did stuff more gay. But let me ask you a question, dog. What's easier, letting people marry that, or restricting what police can do? Which one you think is easier to do? So
Also,
I don't think it's nothing. I don't think it has anything to do with him putting them before. It's just understanding if I got 10 things, I'm gonna do the 10 easiest thing first. Whoever that impacts, it impacts. I don't think it.
But I'm with Timmy. You know, I say that Obama thing jokingly. To be honest with you, there's not a lot you can say to me that's that can bash Obama. 'Cause I tell you, I idolize the man. And a lot of people always trying to say he ain't do this, he ain't do that, whatever. The dude has a temperament that I model myself after. When I go in meetings, I try to speak just as slowly as he do. With same way.
Make sure, because you know the biggest thing is, right. We was interviewing somebody today for a job that's at my job, and I'm so attuned now to people saying, you know what I'm saying.
You don't want to say it.
So and all this other stuff. So me myself, when I'm talking to people in the like let's just say when I'm doing like a big speech or whatever, I pause now. Because I'm trying to make sure that I don't say those same things that I catch other people saying.
Not to cut you off because I can't thought. Mike asked me why I never worked for you. Why you never had me at your job and you had a power position?
It's called nepotism.
What you mean?
Nepotism means you can't have your family.
I know, I understand that, but
that's the only reason it's called nepotism. I don't know what to tell you.
So you can't have nobody that you.
They're not gonna oblige you to put it in. If it's family member, they're not gonna have you.
It's gonna block you. It's gonna be frowned upon.
In the same organization.
Tavares, we told people at Target that we didn't know each other. We was best friends.
Nah, them people knew we were brothers.
I know, but for whatever. To this day, I don't understand it.
No, but let me just put it this way: when this lady in my office, I wanted her niece to work for me because niece was fine and all this other stuff.
Because she was fine?
Meaning that her work ethic was fine.
But you better clarify that,
God, dog.
Boy.
Her work ethic.
Because he said, right, when he said, I wanted to hire her because she was fine.
I wanted to hire her because after talking to her, she would have worked perfectly fit for what we were looking for. She was energetic. She looked like she liked talking to the kids. She went to the phone. So she would have fit first on fine inside the office. Once they found out that she was a part, like they was like blood relative and niece or whatever. They said no, we can't be in the same compartment.
Yeah, HR.
You need to move.
HR
You need to
probably
be
tripped
some
about
other place and stuff like that. So even if I want to put people on in my family, even if I want to, right? I can't put them on in my family.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm just asking because he asked me, and then he asked me what you do. That was a whole conversation.
Who else would you do?
He asked me what Terrell did, and I told him he went to the
Mike?
Philippines to set up.
Dang, dog. So let me tell y'all a story. So Cake was like, so I went out to Chicago and they was telling me, they asked me what you did. And I was like, and I couldn't explain it. she was like, please tell me, like, what's a short version I can tell people? I was like, just tell people I'm a vendor manager, like that. And then,
vendor manager?
Yeah, like people understand who are in business. Understand vendor doesn't mean vendor machine.
I know because I'm a vendor. If I want to go into Miami-Dade public schools or whatever, I'm considered a vendor.
Correct.
I have to get a badge and everything.
Right.
I know what it means, sir.
That's what I'm saying. So vendors or contractors are people that you outsource to do work that you can't do because you feel like they specialize in it.
Exactly.
And I manage those people. Is that easy enough?
So I say, when somebody asks me,
say this is my exact title. If you go on LinkedIn, my title is Senior Operations Manager Oversight.
Oversight what?
So then I don't even know the name of the company you work for.
Change Healthcare. Well, now we got bought out by United Healthcare. You know who United Healthcare is, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I work for.
Oh, we know that. Now we can tell he worked for United Healthcare. Because before, who he worked for? Social Services.
But back to my closing statement. I really love what Tim said. I think we do need to put pressure on our leaders and people opening doors and setting examples. And that's from, if you're in coaching, you're a leader. If you are obviously a rapper and you lead the culture, you have a responsibility to where you can set a positive example. One of the things I hate, I feel like we breed in our culture the way that kids grow up, right? So people like, oh, our kids are so crazy now. Have you ever been around the people that's raising the kids? They crazy. You know what I'm saying? The kids that was in newsflash, the kids that was in the the portables, they got kids. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So like newsflash, like you know what I'm saying? Like the kids who grew up rough, they got kids now.
Let me tell you a story, right? I went to go do an intake to open this kid, so I had to go to their home. I walked. First off, it was some duplexes in the cut, all in the cut. It was like duplex, and it had a common area, like an outside common area. So I walk in the back. So I knock on the door. They ain't answer. So I hit them. I call them like, hey, I'm at the front door. They're like, oh, nah, I'm gonna come around and get you, right? So they had to come around the back to come get me. Then I'm walking in the house. It's literally because it's like a shotgun. Shotgun meaning like it's one. It's the back door. It looked like a laundry area, the kitchen, a room here, and then it's the living room. Then you out the door again. So I get from here is clothes, trash, going to the kitchen and sink. I mean, it's dishes everywhere. It looked like they took mud and wiped it on the wall. I don't even know what it was. That's how dirty it was. And Shorty came around the corner with like some pajamas, and the old girl got on stuff falling out of, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to do the intake. No table in the house. No chairs in the house. I'm on the kitchen sink because the counter's so filled with my laptop and stuff, trying to put in the information for him. And then the shorty just talking in so we doing the intake. The mama went around the corner and started smoking weed. So he like, Mom, man, I don't care with him, man. F him. He gonna see me smoke weed. I don't care. Like I'm getting ready because you know my program. If you get in trouble with the law, they put in my program. And this is what the old girl like, man, I don't care what you doing. And she turned on her YouTube and was playing rap music. And she just was back to smoking and talking while I'm trying to do the intake with her son. And I'm thinking in my head, like, this guy had no chance. Mm-hmm. Like, even if he want to do right, he has no chance. Just the environment that he's in. And I think most people don't realize when they say, "Oh, you gotta watch it," like, come on, bro. Some of these kids and she probably think that's normal because that's probably how she
raised. Yeah.
My bad. That just popped in my head.
No, but that's a good.
And that goes back into the culture again. So how if we not trying to better ourselves, right? We can't expect other people to try to respect us. We don't respect ourselves, right? And that's what it boils down to. So I know we're getting close to the end, but I just think that we need to start focusing on what we need as a community. Start working on it from inside, and then do it on the outside. I need to start working on what's going to make my house and my household better and my family better. Then I can say I can help the community out. Then I can do it as part. If everybody take that initiative and start at home first, that's when we can actually start making a change because now my home is good. Let me worry about the other places. The reason why the United States is in a place right now because they're not worried about home. They worried about what other people are doing.
Yeah, like Ukraine.
The states. I'm not saying we should not do it.
But people say that, but that's important.
But I'm saying, listen what I'm saying. I'm not saying we shouldn't do
allies.
that. But what I'm saying is, it's great for your allies to be taken care of. But why we have so many people living in the streets?
Actually, it's almost a little bit more important that your allies because let me hold on.
You know why?
Wait, hold on. Let me give me a second. Y'all really think we're sending billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine? Because
I'm not worried about that.
Because we're good humanitarians and we go and watch their back. Them boys probably got. It's a reason why they don't want to survey them. Them boys probably got secrets upon secrets for us because guess who they neighbor? Russia. And
I'm not.
Guess who holding them things for us just in case Russia acts stupid?
I know.
I'm not knocking.
I know we want the territory because if we go to war, them it's gonna pop off. I understand the money aspect of it, but what I think my only issue is we're quicker to give that than give back to our own. I think
because security. Because
think about all this.
You can't help.
But
how would you gonna get that lady? The example you just gave. Would you gonna give her a stipend? You gonna give her money?
See, but just what I'm saying.
What you gonna do?
How
you gonna help her?
Yeah, you
It's
can.
not just about money.
No, but
I'm saying even if you, that's what I'm saying. Invest. So that situation, right? So let's say you're the government. You have to protect how many people in the United States? 250 million people, right? Let's say 30%, 20% of those people are like that situation. Mm-hmm. Where are you going to focus your attention?
And that's the problem.
How is that the problem? I need to protect the greater good.
But look what I'm saying. I'm saying I understand that as a president aspect. I don't care about that. We're talking about the governor. We're talking about the Senate.
The governor.
So the governor.
I'm gonna give you an example.
So the governor worried about what's going on over there.
Let me give you an example in your own household. Let's say you buy Kenny a car. Kenny messed up that car. He don't take it to the oil change like supposed to. He don't say he'll do all the things that he's supposed to be doing. And he come to you, hey, dad, Tim, hey, sir, I need $1,000. And you know he wasn't taking care of it like he was supposed to. And if you get that $1,000, it's gonna take away from a meal from Tim, a meal from Gina, a meal from whatever. What would you do?
I'm not giving him the $1,000. I don't understand that philosophy. You did it wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
That boy say, see what he should have been was if Kitty come to you and say, we need $1,000 for my car so I'm able to move around. But if the mortgage need to be paid on the first, and we need that $1,000 to go towards the mortgage is more important. Although Kenny's situation is sad and bad, but I think that $1,000 is better allocated to the mortgage, and therefore Kenny have to suffer like a percentage of the poor people. You gonna have to suffer because we need that money to do.
Excellent point. One more if I can. I know. I get it. One more if I can. Right? You're an avid tither, right? The reason why you're avid tither because you know the relationship with God is important to protect your household and protect your family, right? If you had a choice,
don't ask me this.
Right? Because I already know what you're gonna say.
What I'm gonna say?
You're not gonna sacrifice your tithing. If one of your kids needed a lunch or whatever the case may be, it's not very many things that's gonna stop you from tithing, right? That's my point. I
will take it from somewhere else. I won't take it from the tithe. I'll take it from somewhere. It will be a sacrifice.
This is my scenario. You only got one place to take it from. Okay.
So are the kids eating or are you tithing?
I believe if I tied, I'm gonna be good.
That's
regardless.
and that's the position that the U.S. government is in.
Oh yeah.
See, you know what I'm saying?
They got a tie. All right. So again, I want to thank everybody. I hope you learned something from this episode. If you don't agree with some of the things we said, that's fine. It's okay to not agree with everything that we're saying. And if you have some better information or knowledge, because again, it's about knowledge and information that we missed or we spoke on rather. Just let us know. Write it in the comment. You know, I want to thank y'all. I hope this is helpful. And the whole purpose of our podcast is to be helpful to our community and the people, the 10 or 12 people that listen to us. We want to make sure that they get ingest some good information, that they feel like, okay, we walked away with a great episode.
And not only that, conversation. Building it just open the door so you can have that conversation with the household you have at your house or just amongst your friends. That's all we want to do. Because the 10 to 12 people, I think, are from our community.
Yeah.
So how can we help each other build a better community? And that's what we're looking for.
All right. All right. This your boy Dean.
Tim.
Teran.
Another episode of the Dean's Office. Yo.